Good day. It is an honor for us to once again blend our presence with our many friends here on Earth. There is a small but very determined group of human beings who want more than anything else to experience the profound nature of their soul. This group is not only creating new potentials for themselves but for future generations on Earth. I, Michael, and the presence of Sananda celebrate your desire to experience the freedom of joy. We invite you to trust in your own abilities to resolve the limitations you inherited. The path of least resistance invites your soul to sit in the front seat and assume responsibility for your life. Change can happen very quickly when you stop asking your conditioned aspects to shoulder your burdens. As you free yourself from the restraints of your past, you can safely begin to explore your multifaceted, multidimensional nature. We have been speaking about your human nature, your personality, for some time. This conditioned identity has a long-standing invitation to live alongside your unconditional nature. Some have suggested that you must remove, purge, or evict this personality from your life in order to experience the true essence of your soul. The soul, however, has the ability to embrace all of life as being interconnected. At the very core of your soul resides a most precious aspect of creation called your divinity. This part of you knows itself to be God/Goddess/all that island. It knows this, for it is this. Many of you have experienced the energetic presence of your divinity and yearn to deepen that relationship. You feel frustrated at times by the process that would allow you to integrate that connection into your day-to-day reality. We remind you that humanity is at the very beginning stage of this grand shift in consciousness. We perceive your quantum leap as it integrates into the collective consciousness of humanity occurring during the next 200 years. Shifting a pattern of energy that has existed on Earth for eons in a matter of 2 centuries appears to us as being quite the leap. Change can indeed happen very quickly for the individual who chooses to be at the forefront of this shift. Integrating this dramatic change does take time, compassion, and patience. Our teaching has always been about embracing your soul nature. For the last 10 years we have invited you to acknowledge the patterns of behavior that interfere with your passions. Many of you believed you found a shortcut by denying the existence of your conditioned nature and the role it plays in your life. There is a fast lane in this ascension process. It embraces how you feel and supports conscious choices to stop reacting, start feeling, and begin living a life that includes the presence of your soul. At face value, it would appear that these two opposites, your conditioned and unconditional aspects, are not compatible. There is a lot of energy residing in your conditioned aspects that makes you feel very uncomfortable. If you would allow yourself to feel that these conditioned aspects are also your soul mates, change can happen very quickly. We have labeled the collective consciousness of these aspects as being your personality. We would like to share how we believe they can coexist, like roommates living in your body that feels very much like a 5-bedroom house. A room for your child, adolescent, adult, body and soul. The child, your early childhood, represented a time when your connection to your soul and your non-physical family were still intact. Your perception of reality, as a child, would frighten many of you as an adult. These were your preconditioned years. The magical child was alive and well. When you reached the age of 4 to 6 years old, the magical child was initiated into becoming the conditioned child. You entered a period of socialization from your educational and, for some, religious institutions. It was during this period that you inherited many of your personal beliefs about life. It was also during this period that your soul's connection became very fragile. Your soul had 1 foot in your body and 1 foot in our reality. Such was the pain from experiencing love withheld. We honor the child that was forced to become less than itself in order to survive the environment placed before it. We honor the child that was forced to adapt to the expectations of those around you. In a room in your house that you call your body, behind closed doors lives this child. The adolescent, your identity, took another leap at around 13 to 16 years old. Your adolescence offered a pivotal and potent time for personal growth and empowerment. Truly a time to celebrate a newfound freedom that allowed the dynamic presence of your soul to once again be a part of your identity. Developing a truly sovereign relationship with life. Many of you gave yourself permission to express your suppressed feelings and to begin to act on your creative impulses. In a healthy culture, you would be honored with a rite of passage. Shifting your relationship with those that played the role as your parent and teacher. A time that would ask your culture to step forward and model a truly sovereign and fulfilled human being. We recognize and honor the feelings of this adolescent aspect of your human identity that was never given its rite of passage. It continues to project its anger and resentment into your personal and intimate relationships. It feels it was never given permission to allow the soul to be in its life. It now demands that your husbands, wives, employers, and friends become its surrogate parent. In a room in your house that you call your body, behind closed doors lives this adolescent. The adult your adolescent aspect became tired of the battle for its freedom. Over time it resigned itself to continue playing the game of becoming what others expect you to become. Your society offers countless labels for the many roles you can play. Your self-worth became reinforced by how accomplished you become in playing these roles. The adult began to identify with itself as being the mother, father, parent, employee, or employer. The roles became your mask that allowed you to suppress the agendas for your child and adolescent aspects. The role became so familiar that most of you started to identify yourself as becoming the mask you were wearing. A time comes in your life when the soul once again makes its presence known. Sometimes you experience a severe change in your life that gives you the opportunity to re-examine your choices. You begin to feel that the mask you are wearing is so thin. You begin to pursue a more authentic relationship with life. You yearn for the magical child and wonder how it would feel to have that presence in your life. The adult becomes conscious of how conditioned its responses to life have become. It begins to practice spiritual teachings that serve to reconnect its life with your soul. An unexpected result takes place. Suddenly the doors of your child and adolescent identities fly open. The child recognizes the soul as being the magic it lost. The adolescent recognizes the soul as being the model of a sovereign identity it never became. Your adult self becomes conscious of how the child just wants to play. The adolescent self wants its rite of passage. It wants to be acknowledged for being emotionally 13 to 16 years old. It doesn't have the capacity to assume responsibility for your life. The unresolved issues of your child and adolescent aspects become entrenched agendas that seek fulfillment in all of your relationships. The adult wisely seeks healing practices that encourage reuniting these aspects within you, giving them a voice to express their anger. Inside your house, behind closed doors lives this adult trying so hard to discover itself in the role it has been playing. The body, your body, this house where all of your human aspects reside, reflects the consciousness of these roommates with its own community of cells. As these aspects change, so must the cells. What you call ascension, we call allowing your soul to become a roommate. It changes everything including the nature of your cells. They now must reflect the presence of your soul, which isn't good news to the cells that have fed on the habitual nature of your aspects. Your body consciousness is a living reflection of your household. Spiritual growth allows the soul to become the head of this household without any control issues. The soul, we use the term soul to describe the I Am presence that exists at the very core of its nature. The I Am presence knows without any doubt that it too is God/Goddess/all that is. The soul embodies the mind, your male nature and your female nature, consciousness. Your soul nature is multifaceted, multidimensional, and it radiates from its core an immense love for life. As a human being, what you term to be your higher self is but an aspect of your soul nature. Your higher self or grander self allowed itself to divide into 12 aspects of itself to be compatible with your human biology, such as your magnificence. If your higher self represents the nature of your soul within this universe, then it too is but an aspect of a grander self that exists within this known galaxy. Aspects of your soul allow your soul nature to travel within a variety of realities. Some of your grander selves exist within realities to simply be. Creation, however, continues to expand into greater discoveries. Is it enough to simply be, or do our creations also define our consciousness? Can you not also feel this desire to place your own consciousness within your creations? All is one, beloved, no matter how you choose to define it. Our teaching asks of you to invite these human aspects, including the voice of your body, to come out of their rooms and sit together in your living room, the heart of your body. You cannot evict the child, adolescent, or adult from your house simply because you don't like their behavior. We find it amusing that many have attempted to relieve themselves of this responsibility by relying on their mental bodies. The mind offers a safe haven to maintain a detached relationship with these aspects or your roommates. Detached from having to engage with your own experience. Exercise. We would like to share a simple exercise that invites each aspect to speak its truth. Begin by making a list of 10 questions that relate to your own life. Next to each question, write the name of each of your human aspects. Let yourself go deeply into feeling the child, adult, etc., and write how they each feel about each question. Allow your aspects to speak its truth. Don't judge the feelings. You might be surprised to see who has been controlling your life behind these closed doors. How do we resolve this situation? How do these conditioned aspects learn to coexist and trust the unlimited presence of your soul? We have suggested that you don't take your soul's nature at face value. Put it to the test. Dump all the issues that have been expressed by each one of these aspects at the feet of your soul. Put the unlimited, unconditional nature of your soul to work and witness how this house divided becomes whole again. In a blink of an eye? Of course not. That would deny your ability to integrate this new relationship. It will ask of your child, adolescent, and adult to surrender its agendas. Dumping your issues at the feet of your soul doesn't mean your soul will now fulfill all the unfulfilled agendas. Each of these aspects will, over time, learn to trust in the soul the more you acknowledge how they are feeling. The more you rely on the thoughts of your soul and how it feels. When was the last time you truly experienced joy, bliss, and ecstasy? Now, how does your soul feel about your life? Are you beginning to experience an enormous pressure to allow change in your life by acting on new desires? Are you beginning to feel an unexpected excitement for living your life with passion? Are you beginning to spend unproductive moments allowing yourself to daydream and imagine new possibilities for your future? Dreaming of a fulfilled life? The thoughts from your soul must also be acknowledged, and for them to become real, they must be acted on. The presence of your soul can take your human nature's breath away. Its capacity to resolve polarized issues is truly amazing. Its ability to imagine potentials into manifestation is astounding. Change happens very quickly when you stop relying on the agendas of your child, adolescent, and adult. We would say it happens so quickly that your human aspects will label it as being magic. The vast majority of humanity lives their entire life on earth having never tasted the presence of their soul as an adult. The vast majority of spiritual seekers want more from life but never allow the thoughts and feelings from their soul to become their life. All of your religions were inspired by people just like you that allowed their soul to become the head of their household. That relationship appears so radically different from a house divided that you have called these souls ascended masters. We have to laugh, for all of us are still here, inviting you to consciously participate in a relationship that is very symbolic for how you relate to the many aspects of your own soul. They are interconnected. Every time you invite your human aspects to come sit together, your invitation becomes interdimensional. We have been speaking of this grand reunion for some time, and for many of you that is happening as we speak. In this new relationship, the child within you learns to trust in the nurturing qualities of your soul and stops projecting that need into your intimate relationships. Over time, the child grows into the teenager that you honor with your own ritual. The adolescent learns to trust in the parenting abilities of your soul and stops projecting its unfulfilled desires into your life, expecting others to play the role of its parent. It discovers that your soul is glad to play the role but not as a victim. It offers a refreshing, direct and honest approach to this new relationship. Over time, it grows into an adult and begins to participate in life that isn't so rigid. The adult begins to see the folly in all of the roles it has played and over time grows into becoming the soul's lover. The roommates in your house become best friends because you acknowledged their presence, accepted their consciousness and allowed the presence of your soul to become the head of your household. You become the living model for unity consciousness, demonstrating that complete opposites can coexist. The human angel becomes just that, the conditioned and unconditional living side by side. It is time, dear human, to take ownership of your thoughts. Not by denying the rightful place of your human aspects or allowing them to control your life. The thoughts of your soul don't demand attention, they embrace a new and profound passion for living. Demonstrate to yourself the power of love and its all-encompassing nature. You are so close to tasting the very fruits you desire. Dear human aspects, now would be a very good time to release your attachment to your agendas. Dump all of your issues at the feet of the soul. The soul won't trip, it knows better, it just leaps over them and keeps on walking. Each and every time you embrace your human aspects with the presence of your soul, you also invite fragments of your soul to return to their core. An intergalactic family reunion that now meets on a regular basis in your 5-bedroom house to celebrate a new life. You are loved more than you know. All our blessings, Archangel Michael.